moving on to Hawkeye. I thought as a whole, the show was really good, and for me, um, although I had said that Falcon and Winter Soldier was the strongest Marvel show, I may have gotten the most enjoyment from the Hawkeye show. And it's a lot of it has a lot to do with these character dynamics. To me, the dynamics with um, Kate Bishop, Haley Steinfeld, and um, and with Hawkeye, with Clint, um, they worked really well, and it was Jeremy Renner and, and Haley Steinfeld. Their dynamics, they worked really well, and it was a lot of fun. There was some good humor here and there, um, and really wasn't even the humor. It was the relationship. It was the mentorship. It was kind of like looking up at your heroes and trying to honor, who they were, trying to, um, I guess, pay homage to them, and um, and of course, I think, you know, the big the big story here. There were two things. There was, of course, Clint, kind of facing his demons that he still has from, especially from um, from losing Natasha, Black Widow, and B, from his time spent as the Ronin, and killing a lot of people. Although those people were, I believe, pretty much all of them were evil. Most of them, at least, all of them were evil, but they didn't deserve to die, and so he knew that, and he was, you know, facing those demons, so to speak. And then the other part of the story is that um, there's this weird relationship going on with um, Kate's mother and soon-to-be stepdad. There's a lot of mystery there. It doesn't feel right. She, of course, has some hard feelings too, still losing her dad. But of course, the bigger thing here is that she is wanting to be a hero. She's always wanted to be a hero ever since that moment, which is a great moment where we see her towards the beginning of the series. Their house, blows up, and she looks across. She looks across the street and she sees Clint Barton, Hawkeye, taking on the Chitauri, and that was in Avengers 1, and she saw that he was a hero, but he didn't have superpowers, just a bow and some arrows, and he was out there saving the world with all of them. And she explained in this series how that meant so much to her, how that really, inspired her, and made her feel like, if he can do it, then I can learn to do it as well. I can be a source of strength and not have powers as well. I can save people. I can do what needs to be done to help people to that level. Thought that was really good. That's kind of like the theme of the entire show, and it takes a little bit for Clint to kind of warm up to the idea of having this partner. Of course, I think two things played a role in that. One, her age, and of course, she's young. He doesn't want her to get wrapped up in all of this, and then the other thing, of course, is that Natasha was kind of always his partner. yeah, so Natasha was always kind of his partner, or maybe not always, but for a while, the two of them were partners. They have history. They have this really great friendship throughout the movies and their history. So those are two things that he is definitely very hesitant and um, reluctant to having this new partner of Kate Bishop, but she definitely earns her way. And towards the end of the series, um, shows him that she is ready. She's the real deal. She has what it takes. She has not just the skills, but she has the mindset, um, and you know she's ready, and she's kind of embraced this idea that, yeah, sacrifices need to be made, losses are going to happen. And so they do kind of make it official, and Clint does accept her finally as his partner. So that was really good. That was good to see. And so now we can kind of jump to like towards the end of the series again. And of course, shout out to our listeners tuning in. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day, wonderful week, enjoying the winter weather. So going back to Hawkeye and these last couple episodes, there had been speculation of a character that we haven't seen necessarily in the MCU before, and that would be Kingpin. And so Kingpin is played by Vincent D'Onofrio in the Netflix Daredevil series. He is very intimidating, and he is a villain in the comics to not just Daredevil, but to Hawkeye, Spider-Man, other characters like that. And we get in the second to the last episode, Clint is talking to his wife and is saying that he said that something along the lines of the big guy is gonna get involved, something like that. And I think at that point we all kind of knew. And then it wasn't till a little bit later, moments later, at the very end of that episode, second to last, that Kate shows Clint a picture, an image of his mother talking to, like it's this business meeting, talking to the Kingpin. And again, it is Vincent D'Onofrio from the Netflix Daredevil series, and that was a huge deal. That was a very big deal. Also, at this point, I think I can just say it. We do have confirmed. It is confirmed also that Charlie Cox, Daredevil, is joining the MCU as well, and it's just awesome. Both of them are very good actors. I love both of those characters, and so this was a big deal. That I think that was probably the best episode in my opinion, second to last. It was like that with Loki too. It's kind of just like they don't always know how to really close things out properly, in my opinion. It's kind of like they're just like so close, and it's like second to last. It's like almost like I almost feel like, you know what, just stick with the second to last and just like stop things there, and everything would pretty much be okay. But they didn't do that. So let's talk about this Hawkeye finale. Let's talk about it. It was good. It wasn't great. It was good. It was still fun. And again, more of these dynamics and them working together, Kate and Clint, and we got to see them making the trick arrows and stuff, taking down the tracksuit mafia some more. When it comes to this series, my biggest problem is probably the tracksuit mafia. They're just kind of dumb, and pretty lame. Of course, the pushback here from other people will be, they're supposed to be dumb, they're supposed to be lame. Um, my pushback is they don't have to be. It's TV. It's not the comic. We can and they do spins on characters and little twists all the time. They can make them cooler, or it could have been a completely different gang, and that would have been fine. Anyways, it is what it is. Um, the other standout about this series and about these last couple episodes really is Maya, who is the character of, well, her alter ego is Echo. Um, and we are getting an Echo series, so this is big. But she's finally finding out that she's kind of like on the wrong side of things. Vengeance has kind of overtaken her. She thinks that Ronan was the cause of her dad's death, but really it was Kingpin, who is like her uncle, or yeah, I believe her uncle or godfather, that sort of thing. Not godfather, but if not directly related, then maybe just like a friend of the family who's like family to her, or has been in the past. Anyways, she discovers the truth, and of course now she's kind of going to go after Kingpin as well. And that was a very good story element there, or progression that we're seeing there, really interesting. And and we also have to, yeah, I guess that's a little bit of an issue too, is like I almost feel like they tried to fit a little too much, because we've got Kingpin, we've got Echo, and we also have Yelena, who is trying to, Natasha's sister, who's trying to track down Clint to kill him, because she also has vengeance in her heart, because she doesn't really understand and realize the fact that Clint definitely didn't kill Natasha. He tried to save her, he tried to make the sacrifice, but Natasha got the best of him, and she chose to sacrifice herself to get the stone. Anyways, that finally comes to a conclusion, and after Yelena totally beats up Clint, and they kind of make peace. She's able to get more closure out of the situation, and so that was all right. That was fine. I know a lot of people really enjoyed the dynamics between Yelena and Kate, and I did too. I thought it was good. I felt like the story with her, I felt like some of the acting and writing could have been a little bit stronger. Like, I definitely think the performance here with Yelena's character, it's not as strong, and it doesn't stand out as much as her character and her performance in the Black Widow movie. But I still really like Florence Pugh. She's a great actress, and she does do a very good job with this role. I'm just looking forward to seeing more, and hopefully a little bit better writing for her character, a little bit better development, and different choices. But yeah, I guess as we wrap things up with Hawkeye, let's see what else. There's this whole thing with Jack, the soon-to-be stepfather. He's not actually the bad guy. It was the mother all along that we kind of suspected. Again, well, we already mentioned that, working with Kingpin to have Jack's father killed, and then hiring to kill Clint, because she saw that Clint was getting too close to kind of like the evidence or the story of what they were dealing with. So then we kind of get this confrontation and this fight scene with Kate and Kingpin. And I don't know, for me it wasn't that great. Also, I gotta say that um it's definitely noteworthy um to talk about this. We've been wondering, okay, is this Kingpin from the Netflix series, now he's in Marvel, is is the portrayal of his character, is it gonna be like beat for beat like we have seen him, or some of us have seen him in that series? Is he gonna be as intimidating? Is it gonna feel like the same character? At times it kind of did, and I haven't seen too much of Daredevil, but he is very intimidating in that show, and so at times it felt like him, and a lot of other times it didn't. It definitely felt different, and to me that's okay. And also I think we see in this show that he has super strength for sure, like more true to the comics, and I think that's good too. um I think I think also with when it comes to Charlie Cox and his Daredevil, he is going to be a lot more in tune and a lot more powerful when it comes to just like harnessing his superpowers, um, and having more of a balance when it comes to, yes, the hand-to-hand combat, but also the quick reflexes and the super heightened senses. So yeah, a little bit different take here when it comes to Kingpin, um, in this show. And some things were cool, but some things I felt like it didn't work too well. I didn't care for this fight a whole lot, and when it comes to that subject of the fight scenes, I felt like quite a bit of them were just like kind of whatever. Not the greatest choreography. The best one was probably um, in the second to last episode with Clint and some of the tracksuit mafia, and then he goes and fights against Echo. That is probably not just the best action scene in this series. It was also, for me, my favorite scene when he tells her the truth and explains what actually happened, what is happening now, and that he tells her also the sign language thing, and him doing the signing and talking to her, worked for me 100%, especially in this scene. I thought it was a great scene. It was emotional too, hearing him tell her like that she has hate in her heart. He's had it too. He let it consume him, and that they can't do that anymore. They can't keep going down that path. That was really good, really good. But yeah, going back to the Kingpin fight with Kate, that was not so good. Kind of wonky. Kate's just getting tossed around over and over, and just like hit, like, I don't know, like 20 feet away from him, that sort of thing. Or it felt like that, at least. But just getting thrown around so much until finally she does the little coin trick, because she doesn't have any arrows, this little coin trick, and I think she hits one of the arrows, or some kind of explosive, and it like blows up Kingpin and knocks him out for a while. That's that. Finally, we she arrests her mother. I thought that was a pretty good scene too. um and her mother tries to kind of guilt trip her, and she's really stepped into this role, Kate Bishop, as understanding what a hero needs to do. Sometimes you have to make those hard decisions. Sometimes you got to put your family in check a little bit, and it was time for her to go and face some time in prison, and so she got her mother arrested, turned her in, um, and that's fine. And then we get this scene in the alley. Um, Kingpin meets up and he sees Maya, Echo, and he kind of tries to explain things. This is after Maya takes out, um, I want to say it could have been her cousin, but anyway, Kingpin's right hand man. Don't recall his name. He was kind of lame too. but um, but yeah, so Kingpin's kind of trying to explain things. The screen starts to pan up from them, and you hear uh, the gunfire, assuming that she shoots him. This we'll talk about just a little bit more right before we close out, but we are going to wrap things up here soon. So, anyways, yeah, so we get that. Of course, Clint, which I called it too, I think we all kind of did, finally makes it back in time to, be with his family for the holiday, and enjoy his family time. And I knew that he was gonna end up bringing Kate and the dog back home to meet the family. So that was cool. And then what was I think really interesting is that Avengers watch belonged to Clint's wife. Curious to know if you guys know who she is supposed to be, because I haven't researched it yet. But who is Clint's wife? Which Avenger is she supposed to be? Is there someone from the comics? Do we know? Do we not know? But any theories, or if you know for sure, put it in the comments, because very curious. I thought that was really cool. Really cool. Definitely get hints throughout the show that not only is his wife super supportive, they have a great relationship, but she's seen some stuff, and now it seems like she's done some stuff, as a hero before, because that Avengers watch belonged to her. So very cool. And that pretty much closes out the Hawkeye series and this little review. Of course, I'm doing this on stereo. I'm also recording it for the normal podcast here on YouTube, and I'll probably put it on Spotify as well. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that little review and breakdown, and yeah, just my overall thoughts. And really, to sum it up, is that I enjoyed this series quite a bit, a lot more than I thought I would. One more time for emphasis here, I think that Falcon and Winter Soldier is the strongest, but I found the most enjoyment with this series. I just thought it was a little bit more fun. I had a lot of fun with it, and yeah, I'm definitely interested in seeing more. I think that we're most likely going to get a season 2. And then also I need to mention, I believe in the comics that Echo or someone else shoots Kingpin and blinds him, and so I think he gets some kind of, like, I don't know, different eyes or whatever. So that's really interesting. Curious to see how that's going to play out. I'm sure we're going to see that either in Hawkeye season 2, but most likely in the Echo TV show is my first guess. But we'll see how that plays out. We will see. All right, we can keep going for a little bit. So yeah, that was my thoughts on Hawkeye, and we've been talking about Marvel a whole lot. We're going to switch gears here. I hope you enjoyed this special episode of the Starfighter podcast. But for now, we will catch you guys later. See you in the next one.